Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Three Rail HO World. And I'm happy you're able to join us today as I go over my latest finds. Now, I went over to Canada, our neighbors to the north, and was there twice in relatively short number of time between visits, so I decided to combine both of those visits to one video. So I was in Toronto actually and decided to see if there are any Marklin dealers up there or any hobby stores that deal with perhaps some secondhand equipment, may have some European. But I managed to run into a couple, and they are certified Marklin dealers. So what are they? So let's go over one. All right, and let's go over West End Trains, and this is what the store looks like. Okay, all right. So as you notice, there's a Marklin store, and there's a marine engine sales and repair facility. Now, what's up with that? Okay, so the owner owns both. Okay, so that's how this works. Now, if you are planning to visit this, definitely call up there and tell them when you're going to visit, because I've heard that it has happened. If the owner is not really there, is not there and is absent, away, whatever the reason, they may not open the Marklin side, okay? So I would definitely call them before you go over there and make sure that it's open, all right? And they have a website, and maybe you want to take a look at something before you go over there and reserve it, because there was a piece I was kind of looking at. It was on the site, but when I got there, they pulled it for somebody, and it was sitting on the shelf waiting for the guy to get picked up, wasn't paid for. So they told me just call up ahead of time, but that wasn't the end of the world. There was something else that I decided to get. And what did I get over there? All right, so let's take a look at what did I get. I'm not going to be doing reviews on these items. I'm going to do them individually. So I decided to get this, okay, which is the 39596 SBB crocodile. Okay. Now, obviously I have a number of crocodiles, but this is the only one that I have that has the jack shaft here on the end. Okay, all the others I have do not, and I believe this one has two motors. Okay, so so that's like I said, I'll take it out and I'll do a separate video on it and maybe do a comparison with another crocodile. Okay, but I managed to get that. That was like my second choice. So, and like I said, I don't have this type of an arrangement of a crocodile. I was kind of hoping I would be able to get this in brown, but that didn't happen. So I was settled with green. So it is a quite stock store, a lot of Marklin around. So it's I don't think you'd be disappointed, but what I would do is definitely make the call again, like I said before, and make sure the owner is going to be there or somebody that can help you, because I tell you, nothing is more worse, and this happened to me a few times in different places where you're anticipating going to a hobby store and it's closed. Okay, so and the other thing is, you may want to this is just a tidbit, check to see if this happens to be in Canada, but it doesn't matter if they're on holiday, if there's a specific holiday that nation is celebrating. Like one time I went to Portugal and it happened to be like Ascension Day, and the store wasn't open. Actually, it happened to me also in here in the States. I went to, I think it was Macro, and I came off of a cruise, decided to go over there, had something on hold for me, and I actually paid for it. And it happened to be Memorial Day, and they were closed. So try to make sure, and I tell you, nothing is more, especially the last one there, the latter, you paid for an item, your anticipation of picking it up, and they're closed for Memorial Day. So, try to make sure before you make any type of trek is call them, check the holiday schedule. Okay. And if there is a holiday, call them up anyway. Find out if they're open or they're closed, because I got to tell you something. Sometimes they do not put that in the website. Okay. Whether or not they're closed for a specific reason. Okay. So just a word of advice. The other place that I went to was John's Train. So I went there the first time, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really was not too thrilled what I saw there, but, it had a lot of older items there that I had or was not interested in, and I just wound up, the first visit was to pick up these two cars. I kind of like the graphics on this one and the detail on this one. Okay, so I picked these up. This is at John's store, and actually, let me give you a picture of what that store looks like. Here it is. Again, my first trip up there, I went to John's, and the Marklin person wasn't there. So I just, said, well, there was no engines that I wanted there. So I picked up these since I made the trip up. None of these I have. So I spent just a little bit of money and got these. Then I went out to West End Trains. Now, the second trip I went out, so that trip was done in the end of March. Now, I finished up a trip in June. And I decided to go back to John's Trains, maybe just get a couple more cars, because there was something else I wanted to do out in that neighborhood anyway, so I thought I'd stop in. Well, the second time I went to John's Trains, the Marklin person happened to be there. Just so you know, the person's name is Randy. So, if it's very kind of, I don't want to say misleading, but they got a lot more Marklin than you see on those shelves. Okay, so, they told me in the back, and then on another location, they got floor to ceiling worth of stuff. And I said, how can this be? I was here the last time and nobody told me anything about it. Well, he wasn't there. So, what do you have? He didn't have a list. So I tried to figure, there's something I'm probably going to want, but I kind of need to know what it is. I asked to see if I can go back there and let me take a look. And of course there's insurance or whatever policies they got, and I completely understand it. So, and I said, well, why don't you take a picture, and here's a phone, take a picture, and let me look through and let me pick what I want. And then he said, well, I don't want this to go out online, and, that way, I don't want to get a break-in. And I totally understand that, even though, I gave him my word that I wouldn't do it. What I should have done, and I recommend this, if you go up there, have him take a picture on his phone. He didn't offer that, but if you're up there, and find out what is back there, so you can say, I want this, this, and this. Other than that, what he's going to do is what he did with me, is he's going to say, what are you looking for? Is there a time period? Like, you want steam engine, electric, diesel, you want a set, you want cars, whatever it is. So the other thing is you might want to do is call, and see if Randy's there. Try to get the numbers, see if he's got it. Okay, but in other words, he'll start bringing stuff out. So he brought some stuff out, and I managed to nail it down to 2. One of these is this. Okay, it's a New Haven F7. Now, this is not the right box. Box is okay. I mean, what do you expect for something that's been around? But this is with drive, not without. And actually, I've been looking for a New Haven F7. Okay, and look at this. It's immaculate. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just take this out just to show you. I might take another, maybe, let's just look at this quickly and then we'll move on. The paint is just immaculate on this, okay? Even though it's the wrong box, I didn't care. I've got the right box for this. The horn is here, I mean, the ones that I see on eBay, the paint is just all messed up, and they want a lot of money for them. Now, I know there's two versions. One is with a little step here. This one is without. I'm not sure which one's the one that's worth more, the one with or without. I think the one with the step in the front is worth a little more, but I didn't care. I got the box. Whether or not it's the right version, who cares? So I said, I'll definitely take this. So, you know what? I got the Titan hooked up. Let's see how well she runs. Look at it. Yeah. I'm going to keep this analog. This is going to go on the nostalgic layout that I'm going to start construction probably this July. And I'm planning on getting the wood for that. Like I said, I'm just going to be doing a 4x8 sheet flat layout. But it's great. Look at that. This also has the reversing lever here for the, if you want to do it by hand. It does have some little bit of time on it. And the shoes definitely shows some hours on it, but I'm happy with it. Okay, so let's put this off to the side. And then what else did I get? The other thing I got over there, which I saw this before, and I didn't know what it was. Anytime I looked at it, nobody explained it. But this is the special, the birthday of Theodore Wilhelm Marklin, 1817 to 2017, 200 anniversary, I believe it is. The picture of the Marklin factory, and it's number 37871. So he showed it to me. This is a black E93. This is made in Germany. You can see the price right there. I'm going to tell you I didn't pay that. He did give me a discount. Okay. So it is MFX and sound. I'm not going to take it out right now. I'll do a separate video on this. But he tested it out for me. It sounds beautiful. And I got to be honest with you. This is like one of two black non-steam engines that I have. The other black one is a Dispolo that is the Hercules diesel. That is black. I don't think I have any other black well, I do have a third one, the SJ RC locomotive, that's black. But this one I have, of course, in green. I got it in blue and orange. That's the BB. And now I got it black as a special version. So I said, I'll take that. And so he had them both together and got a real decent price. He gave me a discount on it and walked away from it. So this is the finds I've got. So other than that, I'm very happy. Randy at John's Trains told me to call him if there's anything I want or anything that I'm looking for, to be sure to get in contact with him, send him an email. He will ship to the United States. And the tariffs are really low. I think it's like 10% now instead of 40. Go ahead and check it out. So that was it for now. So I hope you enjoyed the little video, and and that's it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and please like and subscribe, and If there's anything you wish to comment on, good, bad, or ugly, please leave it in the comments. Other than that, as my catchphrase says, I always say, clear signals ahead. And bye for now.